Now, leadership at the State Security Agency is in the spotlight. The head of the State Security Agency, Advocate Sam Muofhe, has confirmed that he has left. He is ahead of the domestic branch. Muofhe has reached retirement age. To discuss, he joins us now. Advocate Muofhe, welcome. Thank you. So you've already left. You are the former head as we speak.
Good evening, Francis, and good evening to viewers. Yes, last Friday, my colleagues held a farewell function for me at the agency. I am now a retired head of domestic branch. That's true.
Reports suggest that your departure is just adding to the instability that exists at the SSA. Is that an accurate reflection?
Well, I don't think that it is accurate. People would write reports without, in effect, verifying what they're talking about. There is stability in the organization. As when I left it, there was stability, and I think there is stability even now.
Yeah.
It is true that my departure and the fact that the Director Foreign Branch is suspended, perhaps, but there are capable men and women in the agency. It can be that because I have retired, then there is instability in the agency. I think that's not factually correct.
But you were the head of the domestic branch. Robert McBride, the international head, is suspended, as you say. So is it correct to say there is no top leadership in place at the SSA right now?
No, there is. Top leadership does not comprise of the directors and the acting DG only. Anybody who is a senior manager in any department in government, from chief director, in fact, from director upwards, forms part of top leadership of any department. In the agency, there are deputies, director general in the agency, capable of doing what directors or acting DG would do in any given time.
But Advocate, for your specific position, is there a successor? Was there succession planning? Why is the SSA only saying now, in recent days, that the process to fill the position has commenced? It's only commenced.
Well, the agency, like any other department, it's not a chieftainship where there is someone anointed or perhaps being groomed to be a successor. When the incumbent leaves, it is the prerogative of the president to appoint directors and the DG at the State Security Agency. It's not a question of having a successful mind.
But, sir, did you give the SSA or the authorities, the people who needed to know, warning? Surely you suddenly just didn't decide to retire one day?
No, it's not a question of saying that it was an abrupt decision. When you enter into an agreement, especially at the DG level, you enter into an agreement which is fixed. So you know the day you enter, the agency knows the day you enter, you start working, that this is your start date and that will be your end date. So all arrangements, and everybody was aware of that. I was aware of it as well.
All right, Advocate, there are concerns about the State Security Agency in the past, but can we talk about the recent unrest? I think many South African members of the public are still not sure why we witnessed traffic jams of people looting with no police presence and why no one seemed to see it all coming. Can you give us insight into what the SSA was doing before and during the unrest?
Yeah, Francis, perhaps we shouldn't arrogate ourselves the right to say members of the public want to know this or that, because you don't know for a fact. Reality is
I would like to know.
Yeah, yes. Maybe you missed it. I'll just remind you that the minister in the presidency, Nchabeni, gave the government's position. She is the spokesperson of cabinet. That matter was traversed extensively at that level. Perhaps if you missed that explanation, because once the minister in the presidency speaks, that is the position of government. Maybe you missed that.
Are you talking about the failed insurrection, sir?
No, but basically the whole saga of this one could have missed the point or there. She explained exactly what the position of government was. And I don't think it will take us any further to regurgitate that position again.
Well, the minister concerned with intelligence said that alerts were issued. The police minister at one point saying he didn't sign for any security alerts. Can you comment on that at all?
Exactly, Francis, what I'm trying to cite you off, that the minister in the presidency traversed those issues in the public platforms, in daily briefings. I think if you visit those briefings, you'll get exactly what he said about it. It will be pointless.
Right now we're speaking to you. So let me rephrase the question. Can you tell us what the South African Security Agency was doing to prevent the looting, what it was doing when the unrest started? Just specifically what the SSA was doing, not what government has said. I just want to know that the SSA was doing its job.
Perhaps let me educate you a bit. I think there's a misunderstanding of how government works or how department works. Government clusters departments. You would have the economic cluster, the security cluster. The purpose of clustering those departments is that departments doing more or less the same work must work coherently. So it does not make any sense to extricate one department from that cluster and think that that department on its own can do the job. We do the work collectively as a cluster. And I think this is what Minister Nchabeni kept on emphasizing. Now, if you want to say the police work independent from state security agency or the state security agency works independent from other department, I think you misunderstand how we work. I think the understanding of how we work will enable you to get a proper picture.
This is an opportunity to tell us how you work. So are there people on the ground who have intelligence, who know what's going on, and were those alerts issued at the right time?
Well, I think indirectly you're trying to get me to talk to what the minister and the president has already spoken about.
Okay.
Fact of the matter is, if I were to educate you about, in terms of the Intelligence Act, we collect information, and because we work in a cluster, we then engage with our sister departments, and these are operational matters which we cannot be talking about on the public platforms. But to perhaps make you feel at ease, we work collectively, and each department knows what it's supposed to do, but we get together so that we plan together as a cluster.
All right, thank you very much for your time tonight. I wish we had a whole lot more time to also talk about issues from the past, your evidence at the Zondo Commission. Hopefully we can speak to you again. That was Advocate Sam Muofhe.
Next time. Francis.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Advocate, outgoing Head of Domestic Intelligence at the State Security Agency.